They thought you were lying.
Like sobbing, fake crocodile tears to very cold and stern within a matter of seconds.
Amber Heard has had some really embarrassing moments in her life, but nothing compares to being embarrassed live on air. That's right, the Aquaman star has had her fair share of humiliating moments where TV hosts have actually called her out on her bullshit. So which TV hosts humiliated Amber? Number 1, Samantha Guthrie. Amber Heard did an interview post-trial which was totally uncalled for. In that interview, she proceeded to make some defamatory accusations against Depp. In the 2-part interview with Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show, Amber made it crystal clear that she would always stand by her statement that Johnny Depp abused her both physically and sexually.
They thought you were lying.
How could they not come to that conclusion? They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees, and towards the end of the trial, randos.
Amber Heard standing by her testimony after it was already declared to be false is enough to prove that she's clearly taking the whole defamation trial as a joke. As if that's not enough, Heard also referred to the trial as the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through. I've never felt more removed from my own humanity. I felt less than human. Well, I wouldn't be sure about that, since the courtroom videos show very clear that Amber did not need any help to humiliate herself. When asked about the social media circus surrounding the trial, Heard said, "I think even the most well-intentioned juror, it would have been impossible to avoid this. Every single day I pass 3, 4, sometimes 6 city blocks lined with people holding signs saying, 'Burn the witch,' 'Death to Amber.' After 3.5 weeks, I took the stand and saw a courtroom packed full of Captain Jack Sparrow fans who were vocal, energized. When asked about accusations in court that she was acting on the stand, Heard struck back, saying, 'Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers? I'm the performer? I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating or saying quite directly that I'm a terrible actress. So I'm a bit confused how I could be both.'" Speaking about the alleged abuse in their relationship, Heard said, "I never had to instigate it. I responded to it. When you're living in violence and it becomes normal, as I testified to, you have to adapt." When Guthrie pushed back, saying that Heard spoke of starting fights on recorded audio, Heard said, "I know how much has been made of these audio tapes. They were first leaked online after being edited. What you would hear in those clips are not evidence of what was happening. It was evidence of a negotiation of how to talk about that with your abuser." Guthrie continued by reading some of said transcripts, to which Heard responded, "As I testified on the stand about this, when your life is at risk, not only will you take the blame for things that you shouldn't take the blame for, but when you're in an abusive dynamic, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, you don't have the resources that, say, you or I do, with the luxury of saying, 'Hey, this is black and white,' because it's anything but when you're living in it." After the interview, fans did not hesitate to comment on how she humiliated herself yet again. Looks like Amber Heard's PR team is also working against her because this interview just made her look 10 times worse, one fan wrote. Another fan added, "The jury wasn't allowed to watch or be active on social media. Stop questioning the integrity of the jury. They unanimously made a decision, not just one person. You were proven not credible." While a third fan wrote, "She's trying, I'll give her that. But she should maybe stop doing interviews if she wants to salvage whatever wisp of reputation she has left." Number 2, Kinsey Schofield. During an episode of the Talk TV, Kinsey discussed the defamation case with her co-host, where she said she felt that it was another case of defamation for Amber Heard to continue talking about the defamation case on national television. Kinsey pointed out how Amber Heard could not provide her psychologist notes on trial because, according to her, it wasn't allowed, yet she went ahead to provide Dateline NBC with the notes. As if that is not enough, Kinsey also pointed out that the handwriting on the notes was weirdly similar to that of Amber Heard.
She provides Dateline NBC with notes from her psychologist, and they look suspiciously like her own handwriting, Kevin. I'm just going to throw it out there.
The fact that the TV hosts were laughing at such a serious matter only goes further to prove that Amber has succeeded in making herself a joke on national television. And speaking of laughing, there's been many instances where people have laughed at the ridiculous things Amber said during the court trial. In fact, at one point, Depp's team predicted that she would give the performance of her life during her direct examination. And that she did. Following her testimony, Depp's spokesman said, as his counsel predicted in their opening statements last month, Ms. Heard did indeed deliver the performance of her life in her direct examination. While Ms. Heard's stories have continued to grow new and convenient details, Mr. Depp's recollections have remained exactly the same throughout the 6 painful years since her first allegations were made. His truth, the truth, is the same no matter the environment in which it's been presented. The upcoming cross-examination from Mr. Depp's team will be most telling and will highlight the many fallacies Ms. Heard has now attempted to pass off as fact throughout her convoluted testimony. Fans have commented on this incident, with one specific person saying that Heard has gotten global humiliation. Johnny said she get global humiliation. Well, he was absolutely spot on. But he's not done it to her. She's doing a brilliant job of doing it to herself, the fan wrote. A second fan added, if she lied under oath, what makes one think she didn't lie to her psychologist? She's an opportunity-driven victim. A third fan wrote, I think she really deserves an award for being the most hated woman on the planet in 2022. The Talk TV host continued to talk about the defamation trial, where they discussed what they referred to as her crocodile tears.
These were genuinely crocodile tears that while she was weeping and wailing, her face remained suspiciously dry, and they just said, she's faking it. She's faking it.
They also talked about how she would go from a crybaby to a stone cold person in a matter of seconds.
Like sobbing fake crocodile tears to very cold and stern within a matter of seconds.
Number 3, Bill Maher. A video of the TV host mocking Amber Heard has made rounds on social media. In the video, Bill Maher was talking about how if anyone sees the Aquaman actress, all they will think about is the fact that she on her ex-husband's bed.
So we don't think of their real lives when we see them in a movie that attempts to transport us into a different world. Could you really look at this actress now?
Fans could not hold back their comments in this video. One particular fan wrote, I just feel she'll never work again. Every time I see her picture, I think Amber Turd. She can only blame herself for her downfall. She needs to go away quietly and come to terms with her own foolish actions. A second fan added, well, she never should have in Johnny's bed in the first place. She's only got herself to blame. Bad choice, Amber. Bad choice indeed. Number 4, Stephen Colbert. Amber Heard is not a stranger to self-inflicted humiliation. In April 2016, she humiliated herself and also dragged Johnny Depp down with her after they both posted an apology video. Heard, who at the time had been charged with illegally importing her 2 dogs, pleaded guilty to 1 count of producing a false document in a Queensland court. As part of her deal, both she and Depp taped a video that was released via the Australian Government Department of Agriculture and Water Resources YouTube page. The former couple's apology video to Australia earlier that day wasn't very convincing, and Stephen Colbert played it on The Late Show just to show how unconvincing it was. Colbert played the 42-second clip, and here's what he had to say afterwards.
Totally convincing apology until you zoom the picture out.
The legal battle, which was started by Amber Heard, has clearly not gone the way she planned it to go. Instead, it has ended showcasing Amber being a complete joke and making a complete fool of herself. But now, we would love to hear from you. In which moments of the legal battle do you think Amber Heard completely humiliated herself? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.